Welcome back, everyone. Today, we're diving into a critical issue that lurks beneath the surface, a silent assassin that can strangle a nation's economic prosperity: corruption. We all know it's wrong, but have you ever stopped to consider the devastating impact it has on a country's financial well-being? Let's embark on a journey to understand how corruption acts like an insidious force, slowly draining the lifeblood out of a nation's economic potential. Let's consider Nepal as an example in South Asia, a country that has long been a victim of corruption. Imagine yourself as Raj, a young entrepreneur brimming with ideas in Kathmandu, Nepal. You have a brilliant concept for an ecotourism business, a venture that could not only benefit the environment but also boost the local economy. However, as you navigate the system to acquire the necessary permits, you're met with a chilling reality: grease some palms, they say. This isn't just an isolated incident. Corruption creates an environment rife with uncertainty and risk. Businesses, both domestic and foreign, become wary of investing in a system where bribery and unfair competition run rampant. Shady deals and a lack of transparency make it difficult to predict the true cost of doing business, fostering hesitation and ultimately leading to a decline in investment. This translates to fewer jobs created, a stagnant economy, and a nation stuck in neutral, unable to unlock its full potential. Corruption thrives on short-term gains, prioritizing personal enrichment over long-term development. Politicians, blinded by greed, might choose projects that line their pockets rather than initiatives that benefit the public. Imagine a multi-million-dollar highway being constructed, not to connect major cities and facilitate trade, but because a powerful official owns land along the route. This blatant misallocation of resources diverts critical funds away from vital areas like education, healthcare, and infrastructure. Schools become overcrowded, with limited resources to educate future generations. Hospitals lack essential supplies, jeopardizing the health of the population. Roads crumble, hindering transportation and economic activity. All of this because corruption prioritizes immediate personal gain over the nation's progress and long-term prosperity. The vicious cycle: weakening government revenue. The negative effects of corruption don't stop there. It creates a vicious cycle that weakens the very foundation of a nation's economic stability: government revenue. Businesses, tempted to avoid paying their fair share, might resort to bribing tax officials. This not only deprives the government of much-needed funds for public services and infrastructure projects but also erodes public trust in the system. As a result, the budget deficit grows, leading to inflation and economic instability. The value of the currency diminishes, making it difficult for citizens to afford basic necessities. This ultimately hurts everyone, except for the corrupt few who line their pockets at the expense of the nation's well-being. Let's move from theory to the harsh realities on the ground. Nepal, a country with breathtaking landscapes and rich cultural heritage, has unfortunately been plagued by corruption for decades. This has hampered its economic growth, creating a bureaucratic nightmare where permits take an eternity and bribery seems like the only way to get things done. This stifles entrepreneurship and innovation, keeping Nepal from reaching its full economic potential. Now, let's travel across the globe to Brazil. Remember the massive corruption scandal involving Petrobras, the state-owned oil company? Billions of dollars were siphoned away through bribes and embezzlement, crippling essential public projects. This weakened Brazil's economy, contributing to a recession that left millions struggling to make ends meet. Corruption doesn't discriminate; it disproportionately affects the poorest and most vulnerable in society. Finally, Venezuela serves as a cautionary tale of epic proportions. Rampant corruption under past regimes led to the mismanagement of the oil industry, the country's primary source of income. This resulted in hyperinflation, where prices skyrocketed overnight and basic goods like food and medicine became scarce. Millions of Venezuelans were forced to flee their homeland, seeking a better life elsewhere. These are just a few stark examples of how corruption can devastate a nation's economy and the lives of its citizens. Corruption isn't just about a few bad apples, it's a systematic disease that eats away at a country's economic well-being. But here's the good news, we can fight back. We can be the generation that dismantles this silent assassin and ushers in a new era of economic prosperity. Here's how. By demanding transparency from our leaders and institutions, we can shine a light on corrupt practices and hold those responsible accountable. We can support initiatives that promote open access to information and encourage whistleblowers to come forward without fear of retribution. An informed and engaged citizenry is vital in the fight against corruption. We can educate ourselves on the red flags of corruption and actively participate in the democratic process. This includes voting in elections, holding elected officials accountable for their actions, and supporting civil society organizations working to combat corruption. Building strong, independent institutions like a free press, a robust judiciary, and effective anti-corruption agencies is crucial. These institutions act as watchdogs, ensuring that laws are enforced fairly and corruption is investigated and prosecuted effectively. Let's keep the conversation going. Share your thoughts on corruption in the comments below. What steps can we take in our own communities to fight back? Have you witnessed or experienced corruption firsthand? By sharing our experiences and working together, we can create a climate of zero tolerance for corruption. Together, we can build a fairer, more prosperous future for everyone. Let's make it happen. Remember, the fight against corruption is an ongoing one. But by taking action, demanding accountability, and fostering a culture of transparency, we can break the cycle and ensure that our economies thrive, not just survive.